Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into something super exciting and a bit out of the ordinary. We're going to explore how to create content that could go viral on social media, but we're steering clear of the usual paths. No viral challenges, no mimicry, no genre hoping to become an overnight comedy sensation. This time around, we're venturing into uncharted territory with something truly different. Crafting fake news videos, all in the spirit of fun, of course. I have no idea if this will get any traction. But remember the Pope in the puffy white jacket? Well, I'm hoping for a similar outcome. Picture this: crafting a news segment so compelling, so engaging, that it spreads like wildfire across the globe, captivating audiences everywhere. And imagine, just for a moment, the buzz it would generate if people started taking it at face value and sharing it. That's exactly the kind of project we're embarking on today. With the rapid advancement of AI tools that seems to emerge every day, and the significant strides made in artificial intelligence itself, there's a growing concern among people about AI's potential impact on our lives. Fears range from job displacement to AI gaining control over entire households, and even fears of AI taking over the world. The notion of AI dominance is one of the most profound fears, that its development is skyrocketing without adequate government regulation, a situation that's far from being addressed adequately. Let's face it, there's been a bazillion movies for the past 30 plus years on this topic, only now AI is a reality. So let's dive into the process of creating a news video that's so powerful and convincing it becomes a global sensation. Remember, it's all about having a blast while pushing the boundaries of creativity using the latest AI technology. Let's get started and see where this adventure takes us. All right, so here's the scoop. I'm about to dive deep into the world of AI, mixing in some classic techniques to craft what could potentially be the most sensational fake news videos ever. The game plan? To spin a tale so captivating it'll have folks believing that Google Gemini's AI has hit a level of self-awareness, hijacking Boston Dynamics robots, revamping them with a mind of their own, and unleashing them onto the streets worldwide in an epic quest to conquer major cities. We're kicking off this wild journey with Midjourney as our first AI tool of choice, setting the stage with base images that breathe life into our narrative. By feeding Midjourney a rich diet of reference images, we're fine-tuning the visuals to fit our vision perfectly. Every image crafted will be in a 16:9 widescreen format, laying the groundwork for them to transform into dynamic video sequences. Imagine the scenes we're about to create, showcasing a robot uprising in the heart of the world's capitals. From the hustle and bustle of Washington, D.C., to the historical depths of Berlin, the iconic skyline of London, the bustling streets of Tokyo, the ancient grandeur of Beijing, and the romantic allure of Paris. Each image will capture a moment of chaos, with our robotic legion wreaking havoc, demolishing everything in sight. Our arsenal of robots isn't just your run-of-the-mill humanoid types. We're talking about transforming cars, helicopters, and a whole host of mechanical marauders. And I must admit, I'm a tad regretful we didn't include those cybernetics dogs in our arsenal. They would have added such a cool twist to our robotic rampage. Once all our images are ready, we're moving on to our next adventure with an AI platform, and this time it's Runway.ml. While we're all eagerly waiting for OpenAI's Sora to hit the scene, we've got Runway to keep us busy. It's a treasure trove of AI-powered tools for everything you can think of related to images, from converting text to image, image to image, and the feature we're zeroing in on today, turning text or images into videos. Seriously, it's no surprise folks are getting jittery about AI taking over when we have such amazing tools at our disposal. First things first, if you haven't signed up for Runway, go ahead and do it. It's super straightforward. Once you're in, you'll notice you've got a certain amount of seconds allocated for creating videos and a number of credits for making images. First things first, if you haven't signed up for Runway, go ahead and do it. It's super straightforward. Once you're in, you'll notice you've got a certain amount of seconds allocated for creating videos and a number of credits for making images. So we are taking those fresh off the press images from Midjourney and morphing them into thrilling, action-packed video sequences. It's worth noting that Runway churns out video snippets in 4-second intervals, which you can push to 8 seconds if needed. Though stretching it doesn't always mean you'll get a better outcome than what you'd have with the 4. We'll upload our inaugural image, draft a brief prompt aiming to channel the essence of Michael Bay's explosive cinematic style, think spontaneous explosions and chaos galore. Then play around with different camera movements to enhance the scene's dynamism. A brief wait later, and we're on to crafting our first set of video sequences. Continue this process with all your images until you've compiled all the foundational sequences necessary. For this project, I'm aiming for at least 2 sequences for each capital city, which means I'll wind up with at least 12 clips, each being 4 or 8 seconds long, depending on the final look I'm going for in the videos. Now that we've got our images and video clips, strap in because we've still got quite the journey ahead to bring the final product to life, ready to share with the world and hopefully go viral. Next up, we're diving into ChatGPT to craft the script our news reporter will narrate throughout the video. Instead of going through the massive effort of showing the reporter's face, we're keeping it simple and sticking to voiceover. It's way less of a headache this way. The first step is hammering out our script in English. Considering we're covering a bunch of capital cities, I'm toying with the idea of making each report in the local language, which means I'll need to translate our original script. I'm picturing each news segment to be concise under 30 seconds, so we've got to be selective with our words. There's not much room for lengthy speeches since the focus is more on the visuals. The blueprint for the video is starting to take shape in my mind. A brief intro highlighting the chaos unleashed by the AI in the city, followed by a mention of the ongoing police investigation. As for the finale, I'm thinking of a dramatic mid-transmission cutoff, making it seem as though the news broadcast was suddenly hacked. The script will end just as abruptly to sell that effect. Once the English version is polished and ready, it's back to ChatGPT for some linguistic magic, translating it into French, German, Japanese, and Chinese. After we've got all our translations lined up, we'll be all set to move on to the next tool in our creation process. Moving on to the next tool in our creative toolkit, we've got something called ElevenLabs. It's this nifty text-to-speech AI that can turn written words into supernatural-sounding audio. Signing up is a breeze, and you land 10,000 free credits right off the bat, which is way more than we'll need for all the voiceovers in our different news segments. What's really neat about ElevenLabs is the variety of languages it supports, plus a vast library of voices to choose from. You've got everything from AI-generated voices to professional ones that can really elevate your project. And if you're feeling fancy, you can even clone your own voice, though that'll cost a bit extra and requires a different subscription. Now, diving into the library, it's like a treasure trove of voices. You can listen to samples of each to find the perfect fit.
Envie d'originalité? Laissez-vous séduire par ma voix.
While the basic library offers a lot, you can add up to 3 custom voices to your personal library at any one time. Want to swap one out? No problem, just remove one to make room for a new choice. You can shuffle them around as much as you like. I've already picked out 3 custom voices to get started with our audio pieces. Back in the text-to-speech interface, you can choose a voice from either the basic library or your personalized collection. There are settings to tweak to get the voice just right, and the AI might even suggest switching models to better suit your needs. Once you're set with the voice and have adjusted the settings, it's just a matter of pasting your script and hitting Generate Speech. A little tip. Try not to get too carried away with testing different options, or you might burn through your credits faster than you'd like. Take your time exploring the library and listening to the voice samples to really get a feel for how they sound. Each voice comes with a description, including what it's best used for and even the ethnicity, which helps with understanding accents and nuances. When you've found the perfect voice and have your script ready, just press the Generate button, and in no time you'll hear your text come to life. If you're happy with the outcome, you can download the file straight to your computer. For this project, I've selected various voices for each language we're working with, and honestly, they sound incredible. We'll craft each audio piece separately and download them, getting everything prepped for the video editing part.
Liv from Washington, D.C. What humanity was most afraid of just happened.
Liv from London. artificial intelligence known as Google Gemini took Boston Dynamics models to overtake London.
東京からの成虫祭です。人類が友と恐れていたことがちょうど起こりました。
Ein Aufstandsbekämpfungsteam der Polizei wurde bereits eingesetzt, um zu versuchen, die Situation zu kontrollieren und
Next, we're diving into Canva, which has become a go-to tool for pretty much everyone. It's incredibly versatile, letting you whip up everything from social media content, print materials, presentations, animations, to even dabbling in some basic video editing. Our mission with Canva is to craft the foundational video piece, giving it that authentic news report vibe and transforming it into a visual feast. Once you're in Canva, sign in and head straight for the search bar. Punch in breaking news video, and you'll find yourself swimming in options. Each template has its own flair, mimicking the look of top-tier news channels from across the globe. Next, we're diving into Canva, which has become a go-to tool for pretty much everyone. It's incredibly versatile, letting you whip up everything from social media content, print materials, presentations, animations, to even dabbling in some basic video editing. Our mission with Canva is to craft the foundational video piece, giving it that authentic news report vibe and transforming it into a visual feast. Next, we're diving into Canva, which has become a go-to tool for pretty much everyone. It's incredibly versatile, letting you whip up everything from social media content, print materials, presentations, animations, to even dabbling in some basic video editing. Our mission with Canva is to craft the foundational video piece, giving it that authentic news report vibe and transforming it into a visual feast. From the get-go, you can start tailoring the text in your chosen template and sift through the sidebar to pick other media types to enhance your piece. We're going to blend Canva's offerings with our own media for a richer result. Hunting for breaking news lower thirds will net us the perfect lower third to match our main scene. Just drag your pick onto a new page in your project, and from there you can customize the text and tweak the colors to fit your vision. If you want to swap out the background video, it's as easy as clicking it and pressing delete. Then head over to the upload section to bring in your own footage. Once uploaded, drag your video into the project and it'll auto-fit to your workspace. Right-click and send it to the back so it lays the foundation for your other elements. Canva also lets you search for additional assets in the Elements menu. Be mindful that while there are plenty of free options, some assets are locked behind a pro account. You can copy pages or add new ones to shuffle in different background videos, adjusting each segment's length by dragging the edges of its thumbnail in your timeline. So my vision, start with a breaking news cover, then cut between our custom videos and Canva's stock footage, leading up to a dramatic hack or signal loss to cap it off. I'll breeze through setting up each page, placing my no signal screens at the end, and fine-tuning the timing. It's crucial to align the video with the audio tracks we've crafted using ElevenLabs to minimize post-production tweaks. Once you're thrilled with your video's flow, review it a few times to ensure it's just right. Ready to share? Click Share, choose to download, and ensure all your pages are queued up for a single file download. The default settings will give you a crisp 1080p HD video in MP4 format. After downloading, you'll name your file and save it. I'll repeat this process for each video, aiming for a total of 6, each with its own unique template and mix of footage to ensure variety across the board. With our videos shaped up and our AI-generated audio clips ready, what's next? Naturally, it's time to weave everything together into our final masterpieces. All right, now it's time to bring our project to life in Adobe Premiere, where we'll piece everything together. We're not stopping at just video editing. We'll also dive into Adobe Audition to fine-tune our audio. This includes balancing the volume across different tracks and applying some cool effects to make our audio clips sound even better. To add some depth to our project, I've grabbed a bunch of stock audio files like background tunes and sound effects from awesome free online resources. Websites like freesound.org are gold mines for finding a wide range of sound effects without spending a dime. Then there's pixabay.com, which is another fantastic spot to explore for not just sound effects, but also stock videos, images, and more. Both sites are totally free to use, though you might need to sign up for an account, but that's a small step for access to all that free content. Okay, so let's jump back into Adobe Premiere and kick things off by selecting Create a New Project.
Remember to give your project a name, pick out the base video you'll be working on, and then hit that Create button. Once you're in, you'll spot your video up in the top right corner with the timeline sitting right beneath it. This timeline is where the magic happens, offering you 3 tracks for video and another 3 for audio to organize all your clips. First up, we're going to add our background news music that we snagged earlier. To do this, head over to the media browser in the bottom left, find the folder with all your goodies, and then drag and drop your chosen audio file right into the A1 Audio 1 track. You'll see it morph into a waveform on your timeline showing you the length of the clip. If your music's playing over time and overshooting your video, grab the razor tool. Hover over the end of your video track and you'll see it snap to align with your audio track. Slice it there, switch back to the arrow tool, pick out the bit you chopped, and delete it. Now, both your tracks are matching up perfectly. If you need to trim any clip without losing the option to bring it back, hover over the clip's edge. Your cursor will change to a red bracket with an arrow, letting you drag to trim the clip down. This is the non-destructive way to do it, allowing you to readjust the length later if you need to. Next, we'll add our voiceover. Find it in the media browser, drag it into the A2 track on the timeline, and give it a listen by hitting play or the spacebar. Often you'll find the background music is a bit too dominant, drowning out our reporter's voice. So let's balance those volumes. Right-click the A1 track and choose Edit Clip in Adobe Audition. Once it pops open in Audition, look for the gauge with a graph and a tuner icon at +0 dB. Drag this down to lower the volume until you're happy, then hit space to preview. Satisfied? Save it and it'll update back in Premiere. Do the same for the A2 track to boost our reporter's voice. This time, increase the dB level by dragging the tuner right. Test it, save it, and flip back to Premiere to see how it blends. Use the spacebar to check the mix and adjust as needed until it's just right. With our audio levels set, it's time to trim any silent bits in the speech to tighten up our audio track. Use the razor tool to slice out the silences, then the arrow tool to remove them. Arrange each audio snippet to align perfectly with the corresponding video segment. After making all your cuts, hit the spacebar to review and ensure everything syncs up perfectly. As we wrap up our videos, we're incorporating no signal clips to simulate the broadcast being abruptly cut off. We start by fine-tuning the background music, trimming it just before the quirky wibbly-wobbly part begins. Drag the end of the track to the desired point, hit play to check if it hits that perfect spot, and then we'll move on to adding some flair to the speech for that dramatic transmission cut effect. Pin down the precise moment where the speech needs to take a weird turn, and right-click the audio track to open it in Adobe Audition. Once there, highlight the tail end of the speech to apply our first effect. Head to the Favorites menu, select Telephone Voice, and like magic, your selection now mimics the sound of a telephone. Next, we're adding a bit more spice with a distortion effect, breaking it into 3 sections for a more dynamic sound. For each section, navigate to the Effects menu, dive into the Special section, and choose Distortion. Here you'll get to play with the curves, adjusting the distortion to your liking. Listen to your tweaks by hitting spacebar, and once you're satisfied, repeat the process for the remaining sections. Hit Ctrl+S to save and return to Premiere with your updated clip. Now let's layer in the rest of our sound effects. Pull them from the media browser into your preferred audio track, taking care not to overlap clips, as this would mute parts of your audio. Feel free to add as many effects as you wish, trimming any excess to match the length of your video. Give your project a final playthrough to ensure everything aligns perfectly. If you're happy with how it all came together, save your project from the File menu. This way, you can make adjustments later if needed. Then head back to the File menu, select Export, and then Media to prep your video for the world. In the Export window, name your file, choose its destination, and review your export settings, including the estimated file size. When all looks good, hit Export. A progress bar will keep you posted, and you'll get a notification when it's done. And just like that, you've crafted a viral-worthy video ready to capture the globe's attention. Creating all the pieces for the final product definitely requires time and effort, but the result is incredibly rewarding. Gathering all the necessary assets took me about 3 hours, with the first video taking around an hour and a half to get just right.
That involved a lot of back and forth with sound effects and audio adjustments. The remaining 5 videos, being variations on the same theme, were quicker to finish, taking about 15 minutes each.
So let's take a step back and marvel at the epic journey we've just embarked on together. We kicked things off by diving headfirst into the world of AI and creativity, wielding tools like Midjourney, Runway.ml, and ElevenLabs like the digital wizards we are. With our creative hats firmly on, we spun a web of fake news stories that could fool even the most discerning eye, all in the name of fun, of course.
From the drawing board to the final cut, we've traveled through a landscape of creativity, technology, and a dash of mischief, proving that with the right tools and a sprinkle of imagination, the possibilities are endless. So as we wrap up this digital odyssey, remember, the journey may have been filled with trials, tribulations, and a whole lot of editing, but the outcome? Absolutely spectacular. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, our little project will take the world by storm, one viewer at a time. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell notification so you know when I drop a new video. It really helps a small channel like mine. Until next time,